Hello everyone, welcome back to Lilliputian Lessons. Today we'll be discussing day 3, that is malaria, the top 10 questions in malaria which are very high yielding. So let's get started. Question number 1. A researcher is planning to visit a malaria endemic area soon to study the epidemiology of malaria for 6 months. What is the ideal prophylaxis that he should take? So here we should know which are the drugs which are used for prophylaxis, how much is the duration for each of these drugs, and why this 6 months has been mentioned specifically. Okay, so the two drugs which are used for prophylaxis are doxycycline 100 mg and mefloquine 250 mg. Now the point here to note is that if the duration of travel is for less than 6 weeks, then we use doxycycline. If it is for more than 6 weeks, then it is mefloquine. 6 months has been mentioned intentionally to confuse you. Okay, so 37% only have got this correct, but this is a very important question, so I hope more of you get this right subsequently. The question also has been framed in a way to confuse you with the numbers and duration and dosage and stuff. So mefloquine 250 mg once a week for 2 weeks before the travel, every week during the travel, and 4 weeks after the travel. That is the dose for prophylaxis if the person is traveling for more than 6 weeks. If the person is traveling for less than 6 weeks, then it is mentioned here doxycycline 100 mg OD for you start it 1 to 2 days before the travel and you take it throughout daily during your course of the travel, and you continue it for 4 weeks after you come back from the travel. So I hope this is clear. Let's go to the next question. 24-year-old woman who is from Meghalaya comes to you with high-grade fever and chills from 3 days. Which is the best anti-malarial treatment you can provide for her under NVBD CP? So NVBD CP, as you might have studied in PNSM, is National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. So this 24-year-old young lady, she's from Meghalaya, which is one of the 7 sisters of Northeast India. So we should know that under NVBD CP, the treatment empirically for northeastern states will be artemether lumefantrine, because they exhibit lot of resistance to chloroquine. So the other options will be wrong, and 91% have got this correct. So I'm sure you must have all studied this. Okay, so as you can see here, ACT is for mixed infection, and artemether lumefantrine is for falciparum alone, and for Vivax you can give chloroquine and primaquine. Okay. The third question now. Chloroquine can be used for all of these except. This is a very important question in malaria. The other uses of chloroquine, because chloroquine is the most important drug. It has non-malarial uses, right? Just like how in tuberculosis we have non-tubercular uses of rifampicin, here chloroquine is the star drug. So the options are DLE, SLE, Sjogren's and rheumatoid. So 48% have got this correct. It is Sjogren's syndrome. It is simply a factual question where you have to know that for lupus erythematosus, whether it is systemic or discoid, chloroquine can be used. Rheumatoid arthritis, HCQS is the whole mainstay of treatment. So here the explanation goes, lupus erythematosus as a first line DMARD, in rheumatoid also, and in research clinical trials it has been used in psoriatic arthritis and prostatic cancer. It is not yet there in clinical use that rampantly, but certainly is there in clinical trials. So let's go to the next question. Yeah, so neuropsychiatric side effects like seizures, acute psychosis, vertigo, etc. can be seen with which anti-malarial drug? This is very, very important. It is mefloquine, and there is a black box warning by FDA on the neuropsychiatric side effects potentially for mefloquine. As we saw 2-3 questions earlier, mefloquine was the drug that was being used in prophylaxis for more than 6 weeks of travel, right? But this side effect comes along with that, and we have to be very, very careful and watchful about these side effects. there is a strong suspicion. You can read the things that I have highlighted here specifically. There is a strong suspicion that mefloquine can cause different kinds of permanent brain damage, even under plasma concentration achieved in malaria prophylaxis. So it's a very tricky drug, very double-edged sword kind of a drug. So we have to be very careful using it. So let's go to the next question. Which of the following drugs can lead to the following ocular condition? So this is a very star question in malaria. So this is the image that is shown, and as you can see, this looks like a bull's eye, and this is bullseye maculopathy, and the options are chloroquine, mefloquine, primaquine, and all of the above. So here you need to know that chloroquine is not the only drug that causes bullseye maculopathy. So chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, of course, it's an analog. These two drugs are very, very known to cause this maculopathy. So you should keep having a direct ophthalmoscopy for the patient done, whoever is under long-term treatment of with chloroquine. Mefloquine and primaquine, although they end with the words quin, they are not going to cause bullseye maculopathy. So all of the above is not the answer. As you can see, 26% of the people got misled with the option all of the above. So you have to be confident with what you know. The answer is chloroquine. So here you can see the DDs for bullseye maculopathy, Stargardt's disease, cone dystrophy, chloroquine retinopathy, ARMD, traumatic maculopathy. All of these can cause bullseye maculopathy. Let's go to the next question. A 26-year-old pregnant female was being treated for malaria in her 9th week of gestation. During the 3rd day of treatment, she suddenly presented with cola-colored urine and shock. Which of the following statements is false regarding the drug being used in her treatment? So here we need to primarily identify which drug she is on, and then we need to identify what exactly is the side effect that is happening as a result of this drug. So 26-year-old pregnant female, 9th week of gestation is 1st trimester, and she is being treated for malaria, right? So the drug here in question is quinine. So quinine, we need to know which of the following is false regarding quinine. Option A, the implicated drug can stimulate beta cells of pancreas and cause hypoglycemia. That is a true statement. This drug acts on the erythrocytic forms as well as the hepatic forms. No, that is the false statement. 48% have got this correct. This drug can cause visual and auditory disturbances. Certainly it can. This is called synchronism. We will have a look at it. Black water fever is caused by hypersensitivity to this drug. This is also a very important point. That is also a true statement. So let us have a look. So this is the life cycle of a malarial parasite Plasmodium. I am sure you're all aware of this. So we have a plethora of drugs for treatment of malaria. So we have two drugs which are acting on the pre-erythrocytic phase, primaquine and proguanil. Hypnozoids, which are the recrudescent forms of Plasmodium, which is acted upon by a single drug, that is primaquine. Gametocides, which are artemisinin, primaquine and proguanil. And a huge list of drugs which act on the erythrocytic phase. As you can see, all the popular drugs are included in this list. Chloroquine, mefloquine, quinine, pyrimethamine, sulfadoxine, primaquine, clindamycin, doxycycline, artesunate, artemether, and halofantrine, lumefantrine. So this is a very, very important slide, and I would request you to take a screenshot of this or write it down in your book anywhere so you can revise it often. Many questions can be asked from this table alone. Okay, so I will move on to the next part of this. So yeah, here the question was to match the various species of Plasmodia with the specific RBCs that they infect. I haven't shown the question per se, but this table, I really want you to pause the video here and note down stuff in this table into your book, or take a screenshot of this and preserve it in a place where you can see the screenshot repeatedly. I will not read this table because it is just going to be a waste of time if I do so, but I definitely want to emphasize on how important this slide is, especially the third row, RBC is affected. You can see in falciparum all the RBCs are affected. In vivax, only those RBCs which are less than 2 weeks old are affected, or you can say the young RBCs are affected in vivax. In ovale, the reticulocytes are affected, and in malariae all the old RBCs are affected. This Knowlesi is a fifth species under Plasmodium, which is newly detected and there's not much information about it, but it is known to affect all the stages of RBCs. So how I would like you to remember this is falciparum has AL in it, right? Falciparum. So all stages of malaria. Vivax, if you write in Roman numeral I, I and V, it means 4, right? So it's less than 14 days, okay? And I and V are there in the word Vivax also, so that's how you remember. The color of the pigment, dark brown, yellow brown, dark brown, dark brown. So how I used to remember this table is by fixing the position of each species, right? FVOM, that's how I used to remember, and I used to remember which is coming first in the table, which is coming in the third position, which is coming in the fourth position, and so on, because otherwise it's very difficult to remember. So FVOM is the standard sequence, and in that itself you can remember like 6, 8, 9, 15 for pre-erythrocytic phase, or for erythrocytic phase 2, 2, 2, 3. That's how you remember. Okay, so take a look at this and revise this table a bunch of times. So next question. Which among the following statements regarding the species of Plasmodium shown below in the image is true? So the image shown is this, and you can see here these ring-shaped structures. This is very classical of Falciparum species. So the options are banana-shaped gametocytes may be present. That is a true statement, and 57% have got it correct. The infected RBCs shrink in size. No, they don't shrink in size. Hypnozoites are seen? No, hypnozoites are not seen. It has the longest incubation period? No, to the contrary, it has the shortest incubation period. So go back to that table which you just took a screenshot of and have a look at this. The RBCs do not shrink, and it has the shortest half-life. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for being here. Do subscribe to Lilliputian Lessons. Follow us on our Telegram channel and YouTube channel, and the PDF of this will be shared in the Telegram group. Spread it with your friends, and happy studying. Bye bye.